Hello, hello. It has been a while since I've done a vlog, but here we are. This is what I'm doing. It's a vlog. I'm very excited because I have missed making videos a lot, and I'm finally feeling like really good today. So I'm hoping to really work on that today, and so I'm happy to start this vlog, and it just has also just been a long time since I've done a vlog, and so I'm excited. It's about 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday, Tuesday after Memorial Day. I was going to start this vlog yesterday, but yesterday I had a really bad day, and we're not going to talk about it because it's over and done with and we're past it, and today is a new day and I'm feeling really good so far today, and I've got myself ready. I put on a little bit of makeup, so I am ready to go. But yeah, it's Tuesday. I have this whole week off of work. Kind of long story, I just really needed kind of a staycation, kind of a break to kind of just reset myself, and I don't know, I just really needed a break. Kind of my goals for this week, it's probably gonna be like a pretty laid back week. I do have some deeper cleaning that I want to get done. I don't know, you can probably tell up above there needs to definitely be cleaned off, and I've got other stuff that really needs to be reorganized, and so I'm hoping to get some of that done on top of plenty of reading. I've really been itching to write lately. Past couple of days I've been getting down a lot of ideas of things that have just been kind of popping around in my head that I haven't been able to stop thinking about, so I've been, just getting those ideas down. Who knows if it will finally stick, and I'll finally have a kind of project that I will stick with, because I've tried this many times. My thing is, if things keep popping in my head, eventually I'm going to get an idea that really just sticks to the wall, and I'm just gonna keep going with it. So I've decided to just keep restarting every time I come up with a new idea, and eventually hopefully something will stick and I will just keep running with the momentum, but we will see. Regardless, it's something that I am looking forward to do, so it'll be good to fill my time with. I'm also hoping to kind of test drive freelance editing. I know that's super hard to get into, and it takes a lot of, again, throwing proposals, out there and stuff until finally one sticks that somebody picks me up. But it is something that I'm trying to look further into, kind of learn more about, learn how to sell myself and my abilities, considering I don't have a degree in any sort of editing or English or anything like that. I have a chemistry degree, however, I'm very detail oriented and I read a lot, and my job currently actually plays well into, I guess it translates well into editing manuscripts, because I do a lot of reviewing of data. That's my main job, so I have to basically check through and pay attention to details to double check that I'm not sending wrong results to clients, and I also do a lot of proofreading of reports before they go out as well. I think I have the skills, and I just need to hopefully find somebody that will take me on as kind of a tester, and to see if it's something that I like, because it's been something that I have thought about doing since high school, and I told myself I told myself that I'm good at science, and science degrees get good jobs and that pay well, and I really love chemistry. I do really love reading about it, or learning about it. I do really love, I love reading about it too, but I love learning about it, and so I am happy that I have a chemistry degree. I just I kind of wish I would have almost double majored somehow. I don't know how I would have done that in 4 years, considering English and chemistry have zero overlapping classes, but I kind of wish I would have done that. But again, can't look back in the past, can only move forward, and I feel like outside of going back to school and getting a degree and going further into student debt than what I already am, I feel like trying to pick up freelance editing jobs is a good way to get experience and also just figure out if it is something that I want to look into pursuing further. That was a lot of rambling though about that. I don't know. I guess I feel like this is a very chaotic intro. I'm just kind of like bouncing all over the place. I'm trying to like talk about things that I want to work on this week. So definitely videos, obviously this vlog, and hopefully, you know, lots of updates. So I also am like way behind on videos. I didn't even do my April wrap up, and it is now May 31st. So my plan is to definitely get out my April and May wrap-ups, filmed, edited, hopefully both posted by the end of this week. I don't see why they wouldn't be. The May one will just probably be towards the end of the week, but definitely the April wrap-up filmed today, hopefully edited today as well. And what am I currently reading? I'm currently reading Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. This actually comes out later in July, I think July 21st. I will double check that date for you. So I have an ARC of it from NetGalley, so thank you to NetGalley and the publishers. I am a huge fan of Ava Reed. I read The Wolf and the Woodsman. I had actually been lucky enough to get an ARC of that book, and the publisher actually sent me a physical copy as well of the finished book after I posted my review, which was super exciting, and I really loved The Wolf and the Woodsman, particularly Ava Reed's writing style, and so I was excited to pick up Juniper and Thorn. It's advertised as a gothic horror retelling of the folklore story The Juniper Tree. I know absolutely nothing about that story. However, I am like 68% of the way through the book, and I'm not quite seeing the horror elements of it. I guess not in like the way that I was expecting. So basically we're following Marlington. She's the youngest daughter of a wizard who's like the last wizard in this like country. So Marlington and her other two sisters are witches. She has something called flesh divinity, so if she touches somebody's like skin, like their hand or like their face or something, she can kind of see their memories, and like if somebody is sick or ailing somehow, if she kind of touches them, she gets memory of what is causing them to be sick, and so that's kind of what she uses it for. I'm actually just going to read off the Goodreads synopsis because I didn't read the synopsis right before picking this up, but what I thought, okay, so this is probably my fault then. This is definitely my fault, because I thought there was supposed to be like a murder mystery element to it, and that's what the horror aspect was. I'm literally just like glancing through this, and that's definitely not the case, which is fine. That's my fault. There are like horrific elements. There's some like really nasty, gross details. I hadn't reread the synopsis like right before picking this up, and so I was going off of what I thought I remembered the synopsis to be, which is very different than what this actually is. That's not a bad thing. I'm still enjoying this book. It's just I think my perception of it is kind of skewed because I had a different expectation going into it, and it's not quite what I was wanting out of it. Because of that, I actually am going to just read you off the synopsis because I think it does a better job of explaining the book than what I would do, because it feels very, very different than The Wolf and the Woodsman, where this is much more character relationship driven, whereas The Wolf and the Woodsman is like character driven, but also there's like an end goal in sight for the plot, whereas here there is an end goal, but it's more of like a internal conflict end goal, external conflict, but also like I don't know. Let me just read you the synopsis, okay? So it says, from highly acclaimed best-selling author Ava Reed comes a gothic horror retelling of the Juniper Tree, set in another time and place within the world of The Wolf and the Woodsman, where a young witch seeks to discover her identity and escape the domination of her wizard father, perfect for fans of Shirley Jackson and Catherine M. Valent. A gruesome curse, a city in upheaval, a monster with unquenchable appetites. Marlington and her two sisters live with their wizard father in a city shifting from magic to industry. As Oblea's last true witches, she and her sisters are little more than a tourist trap as they treat their clients with archaic remedies and beguile them with nostalgic charm. Marlington spends her days divining secrets in exchange for rubles and trying to placate her tyrannical, xenophobic father, who keeps his daughters sequestered from the outside world. But at night, Marlington and her sisters seek out to enjoy the city's amenities and revel in its thrills, particularly the recently established ballet theater, where Marlington meets a dancer who quickly captures her heart. As Marlington's late-night trysts grow more fervent and frequent, so does the threat of her father's rage and magic. And while Oblea flourishes with culture and bustles with enterprise, a monster lurks in its midst, born of intolerance and resentment and suffused with old-world power. Caught between history and progress and blood and desire, Marlington must draw upon her own magic to keep her city safe and find her place within it. So I do really think this is a really well-written book and well-put-together book, and I am genuinely enjoying it. I just wasn't anticipating as much of Marlington's internal conflict of having to deal with her own self-destructive thoughts and her self-harm, and also kind of her learning to deal with her abusive father and kind of figure out how to survive and become the woman she wants to become kind of under that abuse. I wasn't anticipating that to take as much of a forefront of the story as it is, which is not a bad thing. I was expecting something different, which is kind of hampering my enjoyment of the story, but like I said, not a bad thing. And I am 68% of the way through. I was not anticipating finishing this in time for like the end of May to include it in my May wrap up, but I'm so close to the end that even if I don't end up finishing it today, I'm still probably going to consider it part of May. It's not that long of a book. It's under 400 pages. I think it's like 360 something. So 68% of the way through. I'm reading it on my Kindle. Anyway, I've done a lot of babbling and rambling in this intro. Hopefully this is not going to be like an obnoxious intro. It probably is. I'm probably just going to be, editing me is going to be like, what are you doing? Stop talking. God, you just keep talking. Yeah, so I'm gonna go drink my coffee. This is, I saved myself past me, subconsciously saved future me, because I forgot that I ran out of coffee. And I was at like a little convenience store yesterday and I saw this and I was like, oh, that sounds good. Maybe I'll get it for later this evening, when it's like, you know, before dinner and I'm tired and don't want to take a nap because I'm trying to get out of that habit. So I'll just drink caffeine, which is another bad habit, but whatever. And then I didn't drink it, and then I woke up this morning and I went to go heat my water up, and then I was like, I'm out of coffee. And then I was like, no, I'm not. So here we are, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go drink this, read some of Juniper and Thorn, and be productive. Try to be productive. That's the goal today. Productivity. That's what we're gonna do, okay? Okay, I will check in with you later. It is 9:30 on Wednesday. I ended up not, obviously, I ended up not updating you guys yesterday. So I did end up finishing Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed yesterday, but by the time I ended up finishing it, I was like already showered and in PJs and ready for bed, and I just wasn't feeling like being on camera like that. So but I did finish it. Overall, like, it was an enjoyable horror novel. It definitely had horrific elements, just they weren't in the way that I was anticipating at first, but like the more I thought about it, it was definitely like creepy and gross and unsettling at like various times throughout the book. So like it definitely fits the gothic horror fantasy categorization. That's what I'm looking for. It just wasn't in the way that I was expecting. I was expecting kind of the murders to take more of a precedence in the story, and like towards the last 30% they definitely did. Obviously, like I said before, I love Reed's writing style. They do a phenomenal job with their prose, and how lyrical they are, and then when their attention to like detail and picking the like just perfect word for describing things definitely created the gross moments like just that much more disgusting. Overall though, the story, like, I get it's supposed to be a fairy tale retelling. I had never read, like, I didn't know anything about the tale, the Juniper Tree beforehand, but I understand like a lot of times fairy tales have a very predictable sequence of events that go on. However, a lot of times fairy tale retellings try to spice that up a bit. And unfortunately, this was still pretty predictable. Like, it was pretty obvious what was going on, at least like the general thing. There was details obviously that I was very confused about until they were revealed, which, you know, was good, but a lot of like the general things, nothing was super surprising when it was revealed, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like I said, it's a fairy tale retelling, so you have that fairy tale feel, and it like makes sense that it's something expected. I was wanting something less, I guess, obvious. But overall, I did enjoy the book. I gave it 3.5 stars, I think, on Goodreads. Well, 3 stars, but I did my little comment saying that I was rating it as 3.5. And then you saw my B-reel that I was stuck between 3 books. I just really didn't know what I wanted to pick up next. And so I kind of was stuck between The Maid by Nita Prose, The Project by Courtney Summers, and what I did end up picking was The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. My brother had given this to me, I think, for Christmas, and I just hadn't got around to it. As you can see, I have a problem with holding on to books and not getting to them right away, and acquiring books faster than I can read them. We've now surpassed my cart and we've started stacking some books up here. But listen, it's fine, okay? I will get to them eventually. I'm prepping myself. I grabbed them and now they're ready and I can read them whenever I want, whenever I'm ready to read them. But yeah, so I picked this up. This was actually a book, so I remember him saying that he had just stumbled across it on the website that he was ordering books off of and thought that it sounded like something that I would be interested in, and then I had never heard of this actually, which is surprising because apparently it's the phenomenal #1 bestseller, and on the back it says the celebrated literary debut that became a runaway international bestseller. So somehow I just live in a hole and I've never heard of this book. But I read the back, and then I kind of, you know, read a couple of the little blurbs that actually give a much better perspective of, I guess, what exactly this is about than the blurb on the back is. So I am actually going to read the back to you so that you know, know what I know going into this, because I think I'm like 22 pages in chapter 3. So I just finished chapter 2, but you know, that's what I meant. So it says, breathtakingly suspenseful and beautifully written, The Historian is the story of a young woman plunged into a labyrinth where the secrets of her family's past connect to an inconceivable evil. The dark 15th century reign of Vlad the Impaler, and a time-defying pact that may have kept his awful work alive through the ages. The search for the truth becomes an adventure of monumental proportions, taking us from monasteries and dusty libraries to the capitals of Eastern Europe, in a feat of storytelling so rich, so hypnotic, so exciting that it has enthralled readers across the world. Now, if you're like me and didn't know that Vlad the Impaler is the inspiration for Dracula, and Vlad the Impaler was dubbed Dracula before the novel Dracula turned him into a vampire. Now you know, because I found that out in the first like 2 chapters, and apparently it felt like something that was like common knowledge. I don't know, maybe that's like the fictional part, but I don't think it is. I'll double check to make sure that that's actually a thing and that it's not just like the fictionalization. Now that I'm saying this, I'm like, somebody's gonna come on here and say, wow, Sarah, you're stupid, I can't believe you fell for... That's clearly the fictionalized part. But that's... let me Google that, and I'll like leave a little note to find out if I'm right. But now I feel like now I'm like questioning. Maybe I should have Googled that before I said anything. But anyway, in the first 2 chapters, that's what they talk about, is that Vlad the Impaler was dubbed Dracula before what's his nuts, the guy who wrote Dracula, the horror novel, and turned him into a vampire. Bram? Something Bram? Hold on, I got this. Bram Stokers. Bram Stoker. That's the name of the guy that wrote Dracula. You would think I would have read Dracula by now, but I haven't, actually. Anyway, that was really long and rambly. So this is the book that I've started. And like I said, I only just finished chapter 2 this morning. I don't really have anything to say about it aside from so far I like Kostova's writing style. It's very pretty, and I have a feeling that it's gonna be very atmospheric in these historical Eastern European cities, and I'm gonna really enjoy that, because now I'm gonna say it, okay, because Connor and I were watching a bunch of travel videos of Amsterdam and the Netherlands. Before you say it, I know that's not Eastern European, but just European and historical cities in general. I was really vibing with it, and so then picking this up, I feel like it's a whole vibe that I'm feeling right now. Just Europe in general and historical Europe. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna stop talking because I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But today, so like I said, it's about 9:30 this morning. I'm gonna kind of peruse more for editing jobs to see if I can't get lucky and pick one up. I'm so sad because I did get I got my first like message back from a potential client, and I'm pretty sure it was a scam. Because they were like, hey, thanks for applying, or thanks for showing interest in this, and can you reply directly to this Skype link? And I'm thinking, like, first of all, I'm thinking, like, what is their HR department just like sitting on, because it was like they're like, you're gonna be in contact with our HR department on this Skype link, and so I'm like, what is their HR department just sitting on this Skype call like waiting for me to click on it? That's kind of weird. But also, like, right at the top of your like message box, Upwork has like a reminder saying that it says don't take any sort of communication with a potential client off of Upwork. Like, don't communicate with them outside of the site prior to agreeing on a contract, because to A, prevent yourself from being scammed, and B, it's against their terms of service. So I was like, I'm only just starting to look into this kind of thing, so I'm not like discouraged or anything, just kind of like, that was a little disappointing, but because I was like, oh, I got lucky and it happened a lot faster than what I was anticipating, but that's okay. It's fine. So I did spend a little while my camera was charging because I realized my battery was really low. Kind of cruising through some of the postings on there. I'll probably do that for a little while longer. I also want to work on some writing because I didn't do that yesterday. Instead, I filmed my April wrap-up, edited it, and posted it. It all got uploaded, all of it done yesterday, which was wonderful. She keeps jumping up and down. Do a little more cleaning, more in the afternoon. And then, so Connor has a couple of friends that he plays board games with, like the really like hardcore type of board games, not like Sorry or Monopoly, like the kind of the much more intimidating types of board games. But he plays, I mean, one of them is my friend too, but I don't know the other one or two people. He plays board games with them like once a week during the week, and I've always been too much of a sad little introvert to want to go out after work, so I'm determined to do it today and join them. So I think I'm gonna go to that this evening. But that is my plan for today. This has been a really long update, and I'm gonna definitely have to cut some of this out because otherwise, a second update and we're already like a bajillion minutes in. This vlog is gonna be forever long, and we're trying to do better about that. So yeah, I'm gonna head out, and I will hopefully update you maybe later today. Maybe before board games, maybe after, maybe you'll just see me tomorrow again. I don't know, we'll see. But I will update you later. Hello. It's Thursday morning. It's about 9:45. As you can see, I keep updating you later and later in the mornings because like I keep getting up at the same time, but I keep like getting ready a little later in the mornings because I am reading and drinking my coffee, which is a little not exactly what I was hoping to do this week, but that's okay because I'm telling myself that this is a week off. Even though I am wanting to be productive, I am still trying to have a little bit of like relaxed kind of self-care-ish week, but just to kind of reset everything and yeah, I guess work on, I don't know, feeling a little bit happier, I guess, I don't know. So what did I do yesterday? Because I didn't update you last night, because by the time I got home, I just kind of wanted to get into PJs right away. So I did work a little bit more on looking around for editing jobs. I did hear back from 2 proposals that I made. One of them, the first one, did look like another scam. The second one though seemed really legit. They were just asking for a clarification on like timeline wise. Haven't heard back from them again. When I checked last night though, it looked like I was the only one that they were like interviewing, so fingers crossed. It's not a huge job, it's actually pretty a short one. Looks like it would only maybe take me like 2 hours, and so I haven't heard back from them yet. So we will see. Maybe I'll hear back from them today. And then I did try to write a little bit, but I just like my brain knew kind of where I wanted to go and just could not figure out the words that I want. So I'm hoping that today will be a little more successful with that. I did clean a little bit. I am cleaning a little slow, like deep cleaning a little slower than what I had wanted to, but we are making some progress, and I hope to make more progress on that today. And then I did go to board games with Connor and some friends. I've now officially been told that I'm a friend and I'm welcome anytime, so that was exciting. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, this was the first like like Monopoly, Sorry type of game that I had played. I guess I played one more like the other week. Connor had picked one up that was pretty simple, and his parents were over, so we played with them, and it was a lot of fun. But this one, we played 2 different games. First we played Shamans. We played that through once, and I lost horribly because I have like 0 capability of bluffing convincingly. And then the second one, we played Innis, and we actually played that 2 times through. The first time I actually won the first one, and I think one of the guys there was a little salty that I won pretty handedly, and so he demanded a second playthrough, and I came pretty close to winning that second one. It came down to like one whole round where there was 3 of us that had win conditions, and mine was, I had a win condition, but it was pretty unstable, and I got quickly knocked out of the running, and it came down to 2 guys, and it was pretty intense. And the one guy that was salty that I won the first game, he ended up winning the second one. It was pretty impressive watching just like how analytical they all get with this. It was a lot of fun though. I had a really great time. So I am hoping to maybe try to jump in on more of those game nights, just because I really enjoyed it, and it was nice to socialize a bit because I don't do that enough. In terms of reading, I am officially 100 pages into The Historian. It's not that far. This book doesn't look that long. It looks like maybe 400 pages if you just like pick it up. But once you pick it up, it's like hefty, and the pages are really thin, and it's like 676 pages long. So, hefty, like I said, 100 pages, that's all the dent that I made in it. And very, very slow paced. Not a bad book. I'm like enjoying it, and now I am officially like into it now. But the first 100 pages is just trying to like set up kind of the general idea of like the intrigue behind the story, and it's told in such a way that it really drags on. To be honest, you're following the main character, the young woman, who we haven't even gotten her name yet. We're following the main character as she's a teenager, so she's like recounting this time as a teenager, and her dad does like a lot of traveling around Europe on business, and so she starts going with him, and then she's going to these different places, and then we get to the place and we get this beautiful description of this European town that they're in, and then he tells part of a story that is then also recounting his professor's story in order to set this whole picture up. So it's like a story within a story within a story, and it's cool. It's a cool concept, but it's because it's like so slow paced to get to the next thing. We gotta like set up the girl and her dad are in this town, and we gotta set the scene, and then the dad's finally gotta be like, okay, we're gonna tell the next part, and then he's like telling how he got to read or get the next section of information from his professor. So it's like we're really like trudging through the mud to get this whole story out of the dad, and we finally got to the end of the professor's part of the story. So I don't know if the dad has any more to like add to it of like what he did to get more information of kind of what's going on with Vlad the Impaler, and kind of what they're digging up about him. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle and a bit of a trudge, and it also got confusing at several points. I was like, okay, was this part like the professor got this information and this is part of the professor's story, or is this part the dad? Or yeah, so it got a little confusing there. We've gotten a little more interesting, kind of unsettling things happening from the daughter's like the outer story now. So now I think we're gonna start to really pick up into this story. But initially it was like the daughter's parts were like super boring, and I was like, can we just like listen, I love the scenery, it's beautiful, you know, you're really killing me about this whole like Europe and wanting to travel thing, and you're making it even worse for me. Like I want to explore places, but now it's getting a little more interesting. So we will see. I do intend on hopefully making some more progress in this today. I think, so I actually live like really close to a library. It's like right behind my building actually. I just have to like cross a parking lot and go down a couple stores, and it's like right there. So I plan on going there and taking my laptop there to maybe try to look through more editing jobs to see if I can get one, or if I can just I guess it's just really good practice of like searching for this kind of stuff and kind of figuring out how best to sell myself. So it's like, I think there's a big learning curve that is coming with this, and I feel like I am making progress. I don't know, I feel like it sounds like I'm not going anywhere with this, but it's only been a couple days, and I know that this is kind of the thing that it takes a bit to get traction, which is fine. So I'm gonna kind of look through there and hopefully maybe write a little bit while there too. I just kind of wanted a change in scenery to kind of, I don't know, move around a bit and utilize my library, because despite living so close to one, it's a small one, like it's really small, but it's nice, and despite living so close to one, I rarely use it. When my main use of my city's library system is the Libby app and picking up audiobooks through it, but I would like to start kind of just, I guess, if I want to be productive and I realize that I'm not going to be productive in the apartment, I'd like to start going there and utilizing it a bit more, especially since it's within walking distance. I don't need to worry about like bus fare or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's my plan for at least this morning. Like I said, it's like almost 10 now because I've been rambling for so long here. But I'm gonna go do that. Hopefully I'll probably pick up lunch. There's like a couple places like right close by, so maybe I'll just grab lunch there and maybe spend another hour after that in the library. I don't know, we will see. I will eventually come back here and work on some cleaning, and then we will see where the rest of the day goes. But that is my general kind of vague plan for today. Hello, it is, what time is it? 7:30 on Thursday, so we do have a same day update. It's gonna be a quick one, hopefully, considering my other ones have been pretty long. I don't have too much to update you on. I did go to my library, spent a couple hours there. No success in getting like editing proposals accepted. No real updates on the 3 that I have originally heard from clients back on yet. That's okay. I did get a good like a solid writing session in, which was nice. I'm pretty happy with that. I did get some more cleaning that I wanted to get done, which was good. And then I haven't made too much more progress in the historian. Yeah, I think I've only read like 50 pages so far today since I've last updated you. We are definitely getting more of the, I guess, thriller aspect is definitely now taking a heavier precedence in this book. We're also getting a cute little like romantic How I Met Your Mom kind of a story from the dad's perspective of things. We are now down to just like, I guess, the 2-story section. So we're following, we finished up with the professor's side of things, and now we are just following the daughter as she slowly works the full story out of her dad, of like his side of like things after he got all of his information from the professor that he could. So it's going a little faster, picking up a little bit more, but it's still super slow paced, which I think is why I'm being a little slower getting through this. But that's okay, because I'm not enjoying it. So there's that. Like I said, it is 7:30. I think I'm just gonna kind of take my makeup off, take a shower, and get comfy and into PJs, and kind of plan to just read for the rest of the evening before I go to bed. So tomorrow I am very excited because Connor and I have an appointment scheduled in the afternoon to apply for our passports. So that's exciting. It's been something that we have talked about doing for like a couple years now. We keep saying we need to get our passports, we need to get our passports, and then we never do it, and now we're finally doing it, which is great. So I'm looking forward to that. So I do have to for sure go back to the library tomorrow to print out my filled out application, because for whatever reason when I was there today, I just didn't even think about it. I don't have a printer, like I don't own one, so I just have to go print it off there. So I'll probably try to get there right when it opens tomorrow, and maybe try to work on some stuff, and make sure to print that off in time for our appointment. But that is kind of the tentative plan for tomorrow. So yeah, I'll check back in with you tomorrow at some point. I don't know if it will be in the morning, just kind of depends on if I have any like major updates for this, which who knows, I might, but if I don't, then I'll just chat with you in the afternoon. Hello again. It is Saturday at about 4:30. Actually, it's 4:30 exactly. I know I didn't really update you at all yesterday. I didn't really have anything to really talk about. Connor and I did go and send in our passport applications, so that's really exciting. Hopefully in like, I think they said 8 to 11 weeks, we will have those mailed to us, and everything will be successful on that front. And then I also did finally get rid of some things and donate them to Goodwill that I had been meaning to get rid of for like ever now. So that's done. What else did I do yesterday? I did write a bit, had a pretty good writing session, and then I know Connor and I did play a game of chess, and I got this super cute Raven Boys themed travel chess set that came in an Owl Box crate just like maybe last month. Super adorable, and I was really excited to get to try that out and just kind of use it for the first time, which was a lot of fun. I've been kind of really casually trying to learn and play chess on like chess.com and stuff like that. It has been a new somewhat obsession of mine, but I've been having a really good time, and I had a good time playing with Connor. I'd like it to go on record that I did win. I was very proud of myself. I did make more progress in the historian, not like terribly a lot. I'm about a third of the way through it now. I'm on page 274. But it's definitely still like pretty slow paced, but we are getting a lot more of like the suspenseful thriller aspects added into the story. So it's definitely gripped me a lot more than like the first 100 pages did, which I'm happy about that, because I'm enjoying it. I'm not like super like attached to this book like I was hoping to be, but it's not like I'm not enjoying myself. We also have kind of another character that I wasn't expecting to kind of become more of a main character, kind of playing in, and there's this cute little like duality of potential. Well, one is definitely like the How I Met My Significant Other type of story. And then the other timeline, we're getting like kind of a mirror aspect of that, which is kind of fun. I do like it. And then we did get another character introduced that I really do like. He's really fun. And I do appreciate how Kostava writes her characters and writes their kind of like subtle personalities and interactions with each other. Writing is still just as beautiful and like full of scenery and imagery, which like I'm enjoying, but when I'm like wanting more of the suspense and thriller aspects, I think it does really kind of like dampen those thriller aspects because it slows the story down so much. So I think it's to this book's detriment that it has so much like scenery described and stuff like that. I think if it didn't have that thriller aspect that is really like selling the book for me, I think it would be a different story. Yeah, in this case, I'm getting a little frustrated. I'm like, okay, come on, let's keep going. But we're getting better. We're definitely heating up in this book. So that is fun, and like I said, I'm really enjoying it. And I do plan on obviously reading more of that tonight because it's only 4:30, so I've got plenty of time. And then I do also plan on filming my May wrap-up video, hopefully editing that tonight, if not tomorrow, but I'll probably try to edit tonight. But today, so the reason why I'm updating you now at 4:30 instead of like in the morning is because Connor and I went back to the friend's house that we went to earlier this week because it is like National Board Game Day or something like that. So we played board games with that group of friends again, and we spent like, I don't know, 6 hours there or whatever. And that was a lot of fun. I had a great time. So now I'm hoping to be productive this evening. We'll see how far I get, but I for sure want to get that video filmed so that I can have it up hopefully either tonight or tomorrow at the latest. But that is my plan. Hello again. It is about 7:30 in the evening on Sunday, and I'm just going to do one last update here before I close out this vlog. Yesterday I did end up filming and editing my May wrap-up, so that is up and posted now. I posted it this morning. Today I was not productive at all today. Like, I was hoping to be on my last day off. I was, of course, you know, mopey and really anxious about going back to work tomorrow, and I just couldn't seem to kick it and kind of power through it, so I didn't really get anything done. I did play quite a bit of chess just to kind of distract myself, which was fun. I did fairly well until I started just like having some games where I just was not like focusing enough, but that's okay. And then I did start Junjo Ito's Venus in the Blind Spot. So he is a horror manga writer, and this is the first one that I picked up by him. I've been really interested in him, and I've had this on my stack for just a little while now, and I decided to pick it up and just start going through it since it's a collection of short stories and not just like one whole long story, which, like, even if I just picked it up, it's a manga, so it won't take me that long. I did read the first two stories And definitely art style is super creepy, which I expected. These are bizarre stories. They're really strange. They're really odd. I really don't know how I feel about them or what to think about them yet. I'm definitely still like enjoying myself. I'm just like, I'm at a loss of what to think, I guess. So I'm sure maybe in my June wrap up, I'll probably mention it, and maybe I'll have actual final thoughts of it then once I actually finish the whole collection. But that was fun to kind of start perusing through. It's mostly in black and white. There were those color panels that I showed you in the beginning, and then the first 16 pages of the first story are in color, which is fun. It was really pretty. Definitely added to the art style, but I can totally understand why the whole thing is not in color, because that'd be a hell of a lot more work for the artist, and B, probably really expensive to print. But I do like having those color pages. And then I have made more progress in Historian. It's been really slow progress this whole week with this book, but I felt like I was starting to actually like hit my normal reading stride with it. I'm a little over halfway through, and I'm on like page 369, so a little over halfway through. Definitely, like, it's definitely been growing on me as I've progressed with the story, and so that's a good thing. Not that I like didn't like it in the beginning. It was just hard for me to really like get into the story. This is gonna be kind of a weird or roundabout analogy, but this feels like the movie National Treasure, but if instead of like secrets hidden in all of these historical documents in the US to find a treasure, it's instead pieces of information hidden amongst these like 15th and 16th century historical documents in Eastern Europe, all leading towards like trying to figure out where Dracula is actually buried, like where his tomb actually is. But it feels like National Treasure almost. Like, we spend a lot of time with our characters in libraries looking through historical documents and looking through translations and talking with like other scholars to kind of get more information and stuff like that, which is fun, but like I said several times now, it does definitely slow down the pacing of the book a lot. But I am looking forward to seeing where this goes and finishing it. I will not finish it tonight. This I'll definitely finish this coming week, and so that's really fun. And then I know I was just talking with a friend of mine, Rachel, we buddy read For the Wolf last year when it came out, by Hannah Witten, and For the Throne, which is the second book in the duology, comes out this week, and so I think we're planning on picking that up like right when we get the copies, which I'm really excited about. I really enjoyed buddy reading that with her last year, and I really loved Hannah Witten's story in this, and the characters, her writing style, the magic system, everything. So I'm really excited to pick that up next week. So that's probably my reading plan for next week, to finish the Historian and pick up For the Throne. Yes, alas, this is my last day off of my very lovely and just quiet, like refocusing, recentering type of like staycation. I've just really had a good time, kind of just quietly focusing on myself and things that I wanted to get done around the apartment, and then personal things that I wanted to work on. So back to reality, back to work tomorrow, but it will be okay. We will be okay. But I am going to close off this vlog here, and I really appreciate whoever, you know, if you stayed through and watched this whole thing, thank you so much. But I'm gonna let you go here. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!